Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners. I'm looking at a special live edition of the Lenten tradition known as Letters for Lent. This one's going to be joined. This one's going to join two things in one, mostly because the fact of the reason as to why this is going on is because the two events of Passover, which is going on tonight for for my Jewish readers. And before I go any further, I just want to say I hope you guys have a wonderful Passover. I just want to bring it out there, but I also want to talk about. I want to bring how the Passover works in the Catholic life. Um, so last week we heard about the Passion. We heard about the Passion. We're going to be hearing about Easter Sunday. Um, on Saturday, at least for me. Um, but how the. I want to talk about how Catholics view what goes on in Passover. Um, One of the things that I want to talk about is the fact that there were two things that happened during the Passover that Jesus came with his disciples to celebrate Passover, and how that incorporates to Catholics. One of the things that happened during the Passover was that Jesus instituted the not only instituted the Eucharist, but also um, also made present the priesthood. Let the priests, um, let the disciples become the bishops of the church. The bishops that we see right now, the cardinals, the cardinals, everyone for the Pope is known as the Vicar of Christ, and from them come the cardinals, the archbishops, the bishops, all the way down to the priests. All the things that are all the good things that are going on with priests right now, which and there are some good priests out there. There are some good priests out there. I don't want to extol their virtues because they're the virtues that Christ intended when it came to the Eucharist, when it came to establishing the priesthood um, during Passover. But he also instituted the Eucharist too, which Catholics know to be the, the source and summit of our faith. And that's absolutely true. Um, I just want to talk about the Eucharistic revival for a bit and say that it's really been something that really has helped me out personally. Um, because the Eucharist means so much, I feel like we take it for granted when we don't have it. I can tell you from the last 3 years that there were changes that happened in my life during the coronavirus chaos situation. One of the things I couldn't do is I couldn't go to church or I couldn't go to confession. And those two things really weighed heavy on me during the 3 years that during the years during the months that we were in the pandemic. Um, and I gotta tell you, being inside church, being inside that community, being able to be with the Eucharist after seeing it on live stream, um, thanks to thanks to the thanks to St. Patrick's Cathedral in the Archdiocese of New York, as well as the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception over in Albany, it made me realize that I was fully there without being there. Still, it definitely meant that the Eucharist meant so much. And when I finally got a chance to see it, it felt like an old friend. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted to talk about the Eucharistic revival, how important it is in a Catholic's life. Without the Eucharist, it's kind of like Prince Rugen said in The Princess Bride. Without your strength, you don't have anything. But the Eucharist, Catholics feel a little less than in a way. So just kind of brought that out there. But the Eucharist also comes from the priests that come with it, and that's kind of the whole situation when it comes to Good Friday. What's going to happen? What's going to happen is it's going to be Christ crucified, and that and the Eucharist is considered the unbloody sacrifice of Calvary that we celebrate every Sunday at Mass. But that all hinges on what happens on Passover. Now, I want to just say that I feel like I wanted to make this short video just to kind of get this out there for you all. I hope you enjoy the videos. I wanted to make sure that they were a little bit better on this one, but with everything going on, I felt like I couldn't. But one of the things about the Eucharist is that it helps us realize that we're not alone. It helps us realize that even though we fail, and we do fail, um, the Eucharist and the priest show us that not only are we not alone, but God is always there with us, even in the midst of things, even in our most darkest times. Um, I just wanted to bring that up there because it also connects to the Passover as well because of what Moses did or how Moses trusted in his faith in God to get the Israelites out of Egypt um, to the land flowing with milk and honey. And that could be a model for us too because the hope that Moses had when it came to Passover, he trusted in God to help him out of this. The same God that helped Jesus, the same God that was with Jesus or that abandoned Jesus when he was on the cross. Those two things really kind of come together. So I just want to get this. I hope that the video goes out well. I hope you guys are enjoying your Passover just as I'll be just as Catholics will be will be being mourning but also expectation when it comes to Easter Sunday. So if you like this video, check me out on the Autistic Super channel, and you can check me out and you can check out all my videos on the autisticsuperblog.wordpress.com. Stay safe, stay strong. Have a great Passover for all my Jewish listeners, and a Good Friday for all my Catholic visitors. And be kind to each other, stay safe, stay strong, and as always, shine on.